looking notch right there that is headed towards the city. And with that in mind, that's headed right in our direction. David, you getting a lot of lightning there?
Yeah, you know, it's really, really vivid, Mark. It even kind of makes me say wow when it comes down. So I'm sure it's probably scaring a few folks here and there. But, you know, the lightning is part of it when it comes on through. I don't know if you can still hear the sirens that are going off, but they've been pretty much uniform here. And again, I'll turn the wipers on for you. That's the lowest part of the cloud base that's roughly coming through here. It lightens up a little bit more to my due south, but then darkens up again directly to the south and west a little bit. So obviously that's the direction it's coming from. If you live anywhere around this area, Mark's telling you all about what to do about safety. Certainly now would be a time to err on the side of caution and do that. I know we've had a couple of somewhat false alarms come through here the last few weeks, but this is certainly not one of those cases, Mark.
Yeah, and here's the lowering of the clouds he's talking about there, but the great news is we don't see anything extending from it. Ted, what do you got? Well,
I just want to make sure we don't isolate just anybody in particular. We're actually getting reports off to the north up in Marion County, and we're seeing reports of flash flooding going on. A foot of water, I believe, Kaylee, is that what's coming in Jasper?
In spots on Highway 18, or Winfield Police.
So that's law enforcement. They have confirmed it. So a lot of rain coming in across the viewing area. You need to take that very seriously as well.
Yeah, and please do not drive across these roadways. Please don't go across roads that are covered with water. You just don't know if it's been washed out below you. Here's 15th and McFarland. You can see traffic not quite as busy. That's good news. Still some traffic out there, but the rain's still falling, and we've got David Neal live with us there, and he's on via Skype. We've been looking at the picture he's been sending in, and that right there looks like that would be the lowest part of it, just to actually right above the windy sign here. But right now, we have not gotten any additional word from the National Weather Service on this particular tornado. So, David, you're looking at it. You can see it in person. It's a better perspective from where you are. That's some low-hanging fruit right there.
Yeah, it is. It is, Mark. It's like you said, there's a lot of rain there that's involved, too. But if I was picking right now from my vantage point, that is the lowest part of the storm. I don't in particular see any of it rotating as I look at it here at the moment. Some of that, too, is that infamous mammatus that we often talk about involved there, so maybe just on the outskirts. But notice how fast, how swiftly it is moving, and still a lot of lightning involved there as well. And, you know, very ominous looking as it comes into the city.
Yeah, we've got a new tornado warning, is that right?
Well, we don't have a tornado warning on it quite yet, but the National Weather Service is looking closely at it. If we could bring up Titan 3D radar right now, it's just to the west of Greensboro this evening, and it is really starting to become impressive very quickly. It's still a major player, no warning on it quite yet, but if you're in Greensboro, just to the east of Forkland, you need to make sure you're getting to safety, as we are getting some really good circulation. If we could bring up TrueView 2, guys. Ted's looking at a velocity on this right now. What do you got with this, Ted? We're
getting some winds out of here. Right now, not really centered in any particular place, but that means that it could be within a moment's notice here, and that it's ever changing. And as it continues to move, it will. There we go. Got some pretty good winds right there, just like you said, just off to the east of Forkland, and off to the southwest of Greensboro, and that is heading with the rest of the storms off to the north and east, roughly right around 40 miles per hour. Is that how fast these storms are moving? I think that's about what we're seeing. So they're not
40, 35 miles per hour.
That's
50.
fairly slow for a storm. So we're not seeing these moving that quickly, but we are seeing some intense rotations starting to develop here.
Yeah, and one thing that we're looking at with David Neal's shot, man, it's getting dark over there quickly. And I tell you what, let's take the Skype shot. And David, you're still with us on the line. We're really, I don't see much in the way of any circulation on that shot right there, but that's not to say we don't have a tornado. Wow. Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah.
Good thing you're in a truck.
That was pretty close, too. That was just across the street over toward Arby's there. That was one of those where you don't get a chance to count after the strike hits. But that's what it is. It's very thick lightning and incredibly visible. You can see it for what amounts to a second or two or so, it seems. There's a lot of rain involved now, Mark, and like you said, visibility's got to be pretty low here. I might can see a mile or so. The darkest area is to my south, and that's going to be in this direction a little bit right there. Mm-hmm. That's due south, and that is at the moment the darkest area that I can find. So I think that's going to be the lowest. What passed over here a few minutes ago was, it's out of sight now, and it's moved off to the north, but I don't think that was the main storm, actually. So I think this is it back to my south here that you're looking at.
Yeah, it sure is. It's I think this thing it looks like it's restructuring, David, honestly. That's where the rotation is.
The lightning's really starting to increase once again.
That's just south of him, and we're seeing it on Titan II radar, and we just got our latest return. And there, look at it, there it is.
Yeah, that's not uncommon to have these things restructure, but wow, I can tell you now, you're really looking dark to the south and west now.
Yeah, and very frequent lightning, not in just one spot either. It's pretty much all over the place. I think you can still see some of the traffic there on Highway 69. It's spread out a little bit more, thank goodness. There are still people, though, headed west and south on 2059. And if you know somebody at this point who is out there driving, maybe coming from Tuscaloosa and headed toward Foster's, I'd give them a buzz and let them know because, Mark, I'm assuming, I haven't looked at the radar in a while, but I'm assuming that's really a path that this storm is pretty much taking. And if you know somebody who's on the road right now, give them a buzz.
Yeah, and you certainly you hit a great point there. Is just simple things like texting, emailing. I mean, everybody's talking that way, it seems now these days. But right now, that rotation is between Ralph and Foster's. So, David, that is right, actually going up 43. It looks like this thing has restructured. The actual rotation, which was moving earlier through Union, that area is now north of Tuscaloosa, so that doesn't seem to be a tornado at this point.
Moundville.
Yeah, this is actually just to the west of Moundville.
Oh, yeah, just to the west of Moundville.
Okay, yeah, so that's up I-20, or is it actually east of I-20? We're getting a couple of different radar images in here that I think it's a safe bet to say just to the south of 20. South of Foster's and west of Moundville. So
yeah, if you're looking at this right now, this is our velocity here on Titan 3D radar. I have a circle. This is roughly the location where David Neal is right now, and some of the winds we're seeing just off to the south, just southeast of I-20, we're seeing very big rotation there in the far southern regions of Tuscaloosa County, and we're getting some more warnings coming in for Greene and Tuscaloosa counties. Tornado warning until
Utah.
3:45, and
This
Utah.
is the cell right behind it.
yeah,
This is
wow,
the
there's
cell
a lot
right
of
behind
lightning
it.
there,
Well,
David.
I'm going to show you that one right now as we go. Right, there's Utah. Here's some of the winds coming out of there, and that's impressive too.
Just south of Akron, and it's actually going to cross over 60 right there. So, David, you're looking down into this thunderstorm, that supercell that's about to pass through Moundville, and you're in a location that you're going to be on the northeast side. You may not get a view of that, but it is going to be just to the south of you by a few miles.
We had some thunder here in Birmingham too.
So you think I should, I want to be south of this storm. Do you think I should head back down 69 a little bit?
Yeah, that probably would be a good idea because I think you're going to be cut off.
Okay.
So with that in
let
mind.
me do that.
You know, Mark, what's interesting of watching this cell that's just right along I-20 here, just west of Moundville, this has been the same cell that has moved through Clinton, Mississippi earlier, creating a lot of damage. And it's weakened, and then it's just revamped, and you can see how within the last 20 minutes or so, we've seen the lightning increase again with this particular storm, and that shows how it's intensifying with this, Mark.
Yeah, and I want to, let's go out to the wall here real quick, and I'm going to show you what we're looking at as far as the rotations, and we've got a lot going on. And not only do we have a thunderstorm near downtown Birmingham right now, we've got them in Calera. These are not severe at this point. The possible tornado is actually anywhere. We got a couple of different spots. One is a particular one which is near Utah, and you can see the new clean sweep coming through here. Also, a second tornado which is just to the west of Moundville, west of 69, moving northeast. at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. Last check, it was west of Moundville, east of Ralph, and basically south of Foster's. Here are the counties, the polygons, or what we call polygons, the brighter red areas. That is the track of the possible tornado. And it looks like they have one now for Pickens. Is that correct? Is that coming in? Or is that actually, that may be the watch that is hanging over?
Yeah, that's the watch that's hanging over.
And then our other storm near Utah, which is moving east. But I want to point this out. More tornado warnings in eastern Mississippi, likely to cross the line. This is going to be an ongoing process. These will all shift into central Alabama over the next few hours. Then the main squall line will pass through. We're nowhere close to being done with this just yet. Heavy rain right now in Tuscaloosa. I mean, we're talking a downpour.
Flash flood warning just issued for Tuscaloosa.
Okay. And that's because we're just getting torrential rainfall with this. And that will continue as we head through the next hour or so. But the severe threat of the possible tornado is actually just now, just to the south of the city of Tuscaloosa. And that's where we have David Neal, who's actually on 69 and 359. And David, that's looking right into the heart of that storm where that rotation is.
Yeah, and just in the last few minutes when you and I were talking, now you can start to see a little bit more structure to this storm. You can see where it's lowered off into the distance there, and you're beginning to see some of the cumulus clouds that are involved in it, somewhat out of the rain. I think I want to go down 69 a little bit further south so I can, stay south of it, obviously, and still have it visible in front of me. But that's definitely where the main part of the storm is, the darkest part of the storm, and where it's lower to the ground than anywhere else, Mark. That direction you're looking at, which is right down 2059 toward Foster's from where I am.
Yeah, and I got to be honest, we're getting, if we can go to our True View 2, I want to show this. This is the latest bearing down on, boy, I tell you, the first rotation near Moundville really got absorbed. For those of you in Moundville, I'm going to say that at this point, the best rotation is now to the north of you. This happens with supercellular thunderstorms, and we've got a pretty healthy rotation now headed directly towards 69 and 359 as well as Interstate 20. This is in Tuscaloosa, and that is going to take it right near Skyland Boulevard, as well as, well, we're talking about Charlotte State. Yeah, go ahead.
Man, there's some large hail falling. It's scattered right where I am, but I mean, it's very widely scattered. But this is marble-sized stuff that's already coming down.
Okay.
And look, I hope you can see my image at how large this thing is, and if
it's massive.
It is massive. It's very, very large. This is absolutely where it's at its lowest. I don't know if you see the lightning that's striking off into the distance there too, but definitely.
Have you got hail? You said how large is the hail? We up to golf ball size?
It's marble size.
Okay.
It was wild though, because the first one that hit the truck, I thought somebody threw something at us because it was just one, and about 5 seconds later it was another. But Lord, if you're on the interstate and this stuff is coming down, that's not good at all. Let me show you, Mark. I mean, because this is looking very, very ominous. I'm gonna have to take my camera off of where I'm at. Do you have something else to say for a second? Let me get this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you, you've got. I mean, this rotation is going to be coming right, maybe a half mile south of you. So keep that in mind. We've got substantial winds. In excess of 140 miles per hour. David, this is becoming a very dangerous tornado. Very dangerous. Yes, that looks like a huge mesocyclone tornado.
Absolutely. Look off to the left here. You can see how it lowers right there.
That is massive.
And just a little bit, and you can see the other side of it.
That is massive.
So
you just, folks, I want to emphasize, this is extremely dangerous. We're talking, if this tornado is on the ground, it would be a large wedge tornado. We do not have a confirmation of it on the ground at this point. But looking at this picture, it is a very dangerous looking rotating, entire thunderstorm is rotating. This is a mesocyclone, a supercellular thunderstorm that you just don't see but once a year, once every couple of years. You've got to take this seriously. If you are anywhere from Skyland Boulevard northward and southward, take cover immediately. Because, David, I can tell you, if it does reach down to the ground, this is going to be a beast of a tornado.
Yeah, you know, the only thing is, oh, Mark, there's a lot of inflow now. Just started. I don't know where that came from, if it was from a truck or whatever, but the winds are flowing into it really hard now. And I can't see over the trees exactly, but...
Can you lighten your camera just a little bit, David?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Okay. We're going to give you a raw, live, behind-the-scenes looks, folks. This is a very rare-looking
Hey,
shot.
Mark,
Yeah.
we have confirmed reports from the Tuscaloosa City. There is a tornado on the ground near Shelton State.
Okay, all right. We have a tornado emergency with a tornado on the ground, David. You're looking at the tornado. This is the base of it. Law enforcement is reporting a tornado now at Shelton State, and that is just off of 69, right where we had a tornado
Record that stuff up there.
11 years ago this past December, or 10 years ago this past December. This is a tornado emergency for southern Tuscaloosa, the city of southern, or at least South Tuscaloosa. This is for a tornado that is on the ground near Shelton State. And David Neal is live out there. He's at a vantage point. He can see the lowering of the cloud. This is a massive mesocyclone thunderstorm that is producing hail as well as a tornado. And we're just giving you live footage right now as it's happening. He's about to take a different perspective here. And
well, Mark, I'm gonna admit, go this way. Go this way.
Yeah,
I'm gonna admit I'm a little concerned. So we're gonna go south a little bit, and make sure that I can see exactly as much as I need to see.
Yeah, because we've got a confirmation of a tornado on the ground, David. So yeah, safety. I mean, go to your spot that you can find right now. Obviously, much more important than getting the pictures of this. I'd rather you have in a safe spot.
I think I can do both, actually, sort of over in here. All right, hang on with me.
All right, the reason I'm jumping around, just bear with us. We just took a lightning hit, so I'm going to step out of the picture, and that way we can give you a better shot. But we are also looking at the radar where this thunderstorm is actually producing a tornado just south of the city of Tuscaloosa, now about to cross 69 as we speak. A tornado on the ground crossing through Shelton State, headed towards Skyland Boulevard, as well as eventually 2059. This is a massive tornado looking storm, and we do have a confirmation of it on the ground. We're trying to get a visual look at it right now, and this is actually a shot into the thunderstorm. David, I'm on the, excuse me, I'm on the shot with your Skype image. Go ahead. Yeah.
Can you see it? Right there's the rotation, or at least one of them. I mean, I've got, shoot it with the camera. I mean,
there it is.
I've got rotation right here for sure.
Yeah, all right, tilt down because there it is, right there.
Yeah,
that is what's developing.
Do you see how quickly that is moving, too?
Yes, I do.
I don't know if I can...
Leave that shot right there, if you would, David.
Wow.
Yeah, you can see the whole thing is rotating.
Yeah, that's what the radar sees, is just right here in front of me. Now, that's not touching the ground. And as I look across the entire perimeter, I don't see exactly what is touching the ground, other than that's certainly rotating very swiftly there just above the ground. And as I look off to my east, the clouds are flying into this thing. Let me take the camera down just a minute.
Yeah, now there was a confirmation of a tornado on the ground. It's possible that has already gone back up, but I can tell you, looking at this video here, David, make sure you keep an eye on your right shoulder. Don't let one of those sneak up on you.
Can you see over over here? There's an IHOP sign there. You're going to have to help me a little bit.
I mean, a huge inflow.
Look, Mark, look.
Yep, I see it. All right, we have the tornado right there. There it is. All right, David, your picture's jumping around a little bit.
Can you see?
Yep. All right.
That was an unbelievable gust right there, but notice how the clouds are really whipping into the storm now on this side of the interstate. There's a lot of debris.
Yeah, I mean, this thing's being fed. You can see everything is flying into this. I mean, this is a massive rotation. This is a huge rotation. And
Mark,
look at, go ahead.
There's stuff falling from the sky right now. I mean, there's limbs, all
Okay.
kind of stuff that's
I
falling.
see it right there. All right, David, so this is likely a large tornado on the ground. It's rain wrapped. That's the only thing we can figure, judging by the shot that we've got right now. What's the velocity looking like over there right now, Ted?
We're seeing some very gusty winds coming right out of Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
We're seeing them right there. You can see south of where is what you're looking at directly on the video. We're seeing winds.
Yeah, go ahead, David.
I'm going to be honest with you. My daughter is with me. She's a little bit shaken right now because she's never been in a tornado, but I was just assuring her that we're okay.
Yep.
A lot of lights went out when that happened. Again, now listen, I'm at 69 and right at 2059, and I think that tornado just went like due south of me, and
Yes.
it's now maybe a mile or so on 69.
This way.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're looking right at it. I agree
Yes.
completely, and because
Yes.
that's where. And
Look.
did you see the power surge?
Yes, lots of. I
Okay.
mean, all the lights just went out everywhere here
Yeah,
on 69.
there would be our tornado right there, David, right over that car sign, the advanced auto parts. That is where our tornado is, if it's on the ground right now, which I think it is.
If it's not on the ground, it is very close because some circulation went right over us just a few seconds ago, and the winds
Look
went
at that.
up.
It's being pulled in. The rain's being pulled into it.
It's all getting pulled in. There was debris in the air, twigs and stuff. I'm not talking about large
Shingles and
trees,
stuff,
but
yeah.
I mean, just falling from the sky. You heard that old story about frogs falling out of the sky. Well, that's sort of what it reminded me of right there. And now the rain is just torrential as it comes down here. So, and it's a little bit lighter. You can still see there are twigs and stuff that are falling.
Well, David, we just got a radar that was 80 miles per hour just east of 69, and yeah, we got an inbound of 80 and an outbound of 68. That's a very strong tornado.
This is on Highway 69.
Yeah, that's right now just to the south and maybe a mile southwest of you, David.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that the actual circulation already went right over here. Now, I didn't see, as that happened, I didn't see anywhere else where it looked like it could have been touching the ground, Mark. Now, I may have a mile or two visibility where I'm at, but I don't think it was touching the ground.
Okay, that's great news. Let's hope that's the case, because if it were rain wrapped, unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to see much with it. But I can tell. I know exactly where you're located. But yeah, it looks like the velocity is it's still high, but it's disrupted a bit compared to where it was earlier. I mean, it was a healthy core when it went right over you, and judging by the inflow, that was pretty impressive. So. Needless to say, that storm, very dangerous, possibly putting a tornado on the ground at times. Went right over David Neal there at 2059 and 69 in Tuscaloosa County. And David, while you get repositioned, we're going to go back out to the radar. There are more tornado warnings which have been issued for these thunderstorms that are continuing to move through West Alabama. And I do want to emphasize, and we can pot David down just a little bit and we'll pick him back up. Don't hang up with him. We'll get back to him in just a minute. This whole line of storms is moving towards the north and east at about 45 miles per hour. So for those of you who are still with us, and keep in mind, for those of you who are still with us, we're taking a few power hits here at CBS 42. And you may not be able to see me, but you can hear me. And we're going to continue to ride this out with you. We're getting a little bit of lightning here at top Red Mountain, which is not uncommon. And periodically we take a hit because we got a big giant metal stick outside, which is our actually our transmitter and our tower. So you'll see us again here in just a moment. But right now, I want to emphasize the tornado warnings, one now just to the north and east of Greensboro, the other just east of Utah, also one for Tuscaloosa County.
Jefferson, Mark, was just added to that tornado warning for Tuscaloosa as well.
All right, Jefferson County is now under a tornado warning. So for those of you in Jefferson County, this is going to be for a tornado which is possible as it makes its way into South and West Jefferson County. Right now, that's where the circulation is. Is that right, Kaylee?
Yes.
Okay, that's for the storm that is producing the possible tornado now just to the east of Tuscaloosa. We're talking about it's going to head towards Vance, Brookwood. It's right now just south and west of Brookwood. If you're in Brookwood, get in a safe spot right now. If you're in Vance, get in a safe spot right now. Let's not wait on this. This is a very dangerous situation. We're going to take a live shot now from our Jack's Eye in the Sky. Zoom out just a bit for me, Bobby. Zoom out this camera shot so I can stay in it and stay within the boundaries here. And we're going to have to get our monitors turned on here on the wall in just a moment. But for those of you in Jefferson County, right now you hear the sirens going off. This is the advance warning. We want to give you time to go to your place of safety. The EMA sets these warnings off so you can be moving in that direction. So if you're with us right now watching, let's go ahead and get you to go through your tornado safety plan, and that is to the lowest floor away from doors and windows. Basement is the best spot, obviously, but please leave mobile homes. Go to a more sturdy structure in the event that we do have a tornado move through the area. And while we're still taking a few lightning hits, you may see the picture change just a bit from time to time. But I want to tell you, we're going to ride this out with you. So hang in there. We're going to get through this day. And this is going to be one of those days we look back on and go, glad it's over. Especially tomorrow when we're enjoying a beautiful day across most of Alabama. Now, back out to the radar. What we've got here is, actually, I'm just going to look at a different monitor here while we get one fixed. Here's Holt. That is a hail core. Here is the tornado. This is the track that takes it towards Jefferson County. I want to emphasize, if you're hearing the sirens right now and you're turning on the television, this is for Jefferson County and for the western portion of Jefferson County. The polygon is actually, does that extend into the city? Does that extend into the city, Kaylee?
Let me check. Hold on just a second.
Okay. That is going to be for the tornado warning that is now going to be carried from eastern Tuscaloosa County into western Jefferson.
Doesn't quite get to downtown Birmingham.
Okay, so that's good news. That includes Million Dollar Lakes, Bucksville, but it does not include places like Bessemer or downtown Birmingham or actually, I should not say Pell City, but Pleasant Grove. So that is good news. Even though the sirens are going off around downtown Birmingham, that warning is not including the city of Birmingham yet. But I want to emphasize it is likely that we will see this carried over a little bit longer. This thunderstorm has been producing tornadoes since West Mississippi earlier this morning. And Kaylee, what you got?
We got an update for another tornado warning for Bibb, Hale, Perry, and Tuscaloosa, the one just south of this one near Greensboro. Public has reported a tornado on the ground with this one as well.
Okay, zoom out if you would, please. Go ahead and pop us out, and let's knock all these things out one at a time. First off, here's the first tornado. That is the one that just went over David Neal at 69 in 2059. Here is the Hill. What you got, Kaylee?
Mark, we got more updates from Tuscaloosa. 1 mile south of Sky Lane Boulevard off of Highway 69. Damage to the Speedy Oil Change shop, and there are power lines down the roadway, so stay away from that because if they're live, that's very dangerous.
Good indication. We probably had a brief touchdown. We saw that video coming in live, the power flashes as that happened. So we're now getting that from law enforcement that there was a tornado that touched down in Tuscaloosa. So this particular thunderstorm is very dangerous. It could produce a tornado here at any moment, especially around Brookwood, stretching back over into Vance. David, I'm going to step out of the way. It looks like we got some damage, and I'm just going to talk through what I see here. But it looks like the highway signs have actually taken a little beating there. And we're going to be talking to David here in just a couple of moments when he gets connected with us. So for the most part, you can see there goes law enforcement. I'm sure to check on some of the areas that have been hit by this possible tornado. If not, at least certainly very high straight line winds. And we're looking at major power outages south of Skyland Boulevard down 69. David, what do you got?
Mark, I'm on McFarland, and this was the tornado. This is, and it did get close enough to the ground to cause quite a bit of damage. I don't know if you can see. There's a lot of emergency personnel out at the moment. There are a lot of police, and there goes another ambulance. There are quite a few trees that are toppled. I can see several power poles that have been completely broken off. There are some signs. Let me pan off to the right here. You can maybe see there was an Arby's sign, a Sonic sign. They were taken down. Taco Bell sign was taken down. So the wind was, it was kicking right in this area here, and now I can still see off into the distance the next storm that's coming in.
Yeah, that's actually going to be just to the south of you, which is good news because, and I'm gonna throw this out there. We need to get Lee Garner headed this direction for news, and she is en route to this location to get a little more information on what happened. But David, those power poles, we saw the power surge and flashes from the transformers. We got power lines down now across the road. I mean, I firmly believe we had at least a brief touchdown, if not a little bit longer one.
Oh, I'm sure. And this was right here at McFarland, right at the intersection at McFarland. And there's debris out in the road. There are signs out into the road, and the police are, there are a lot of police who are out right now trying to pick up all that debris. But,
yeah, and I want to point out, David, real quick, here's 69. There is Skyland Boulevard. That is towards the Skyland Boulevard. You're looking north, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
all right,
I'm
so
looking at the
Skyland
storm as it
Boulevard
passed.
towards Tuscaloosa Toyota, and obviously down towards the water tower there. But you're looking to the left, and that is west, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let me show you. I finally can see my image again. Let me see if I can roll my window down just a minute here.
Yeah, because you're right by Academy over there, and Woods and Waters nearby.
Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly where you are, and this is wow. It looks like well, that would
a
be,
lot of
yes,
signs taken down. Let me zoom in here a little bit more to show you.
All right.
See right there?
Oh yeah.
Those are some of the signs that were blown down. The Sonic sign. There's another couple of signs right there that are taken down, and then this one. I'm not the best photographer in the world. I apologize, but let me zoom out just a little bit.
Just snapped off.
Yeah, just snapped off, and
yeah, that's very indicative of a tornado.
So a lot of people right now trying to either get home or do whatever they need to do, and once again, traveling is not advised. But look at all the police. There are a bunch of personnel who are out right now trying to at least make the roadways a little bit safer, because there's a lot of debris that's sitting out in the roadway at the minute.
Yeah, and along Skyland Boulevard over there towards Memory Hill Gardens, that's where all the emergency personnel are headed. And that looks like they're headed towards the south down 69, because 69's that direction. There was a possible tornado, or at least law enforcement they were telling us that there was a tornado down at Shelton State, which is just down 69 south of the city. David,
I can believe that.
Yeah, these pictures, well, they're starting to tell us the story of what's going on with these storms. We've got a number of reports of major damage back in Geiger, homes destroyed. We've got trees and power lines down in many communities through there as well. David, just hang with us. Let's go back to the radar. I want to show what's going on with the rest of these storms. I don't want to focus completely on Tuscaloosa, but here is that possible tornado now headed over Brookwood. This is a dangerous storm. This could be producing actually larger hail, not out of the question. And I'm sorry, Tracy, you said UA students? Okay. And all right, that's great news. For those of you moms and dads who have students at UA, all the students have been moved to shelters, and they're in great spots. They're in a safe spot. Don't worry about it. You can maybe text them. And that's good news. But the university, very proactive on that and putting a lot of the students in the shelters there. This thunderstorm right here is actually becoming one of the most frightening looking storms of the day. This has a diffluent pattern off of it. That's pretty impressive. Let me look at that. Centerville, you're starting to get some of the rain off of that. The actual tornado is actually way back here, but it's going to continue to move towards the north and towards the east. Moundville, you've got torrential rain, another tornado possible behind that. Here is the other tornado, which is just now passing over Brookwood. This is moving towards the east-northeast, headed right towards Bucksville and north and east of Vance. So these are spots that are going to be affected by tornadoes. Guys, just take it away.
Mark, if there's anyone that has any family members or friends that are in the Deer Lick campground area, this is where this tornado that it's moving away from Tuscaloosa needs to take cover. Deer Lick Creek campgrounds. It's now moving with that cell that's moving right along I-20 that David Neal just caught on there that caused that damage in Tuscaloosa, moving around that area 5 miles east of Holt.
Yep.
This storm is moving about 45 miles per hour.
Yeah, David, you're still there. Let's Back to David's picture. We're taking some serious lightning hits. David, you're looking which direction now? Give us an update.
Yeah, I'm on just north of 85, but I'm about to get back on 85, north of 69, and try to stay south of this next storm that's moving in. There's a lot of emergency personnel headed in this direction as well, but just about every one of these signs, I'm looking at the McDonald's sign on the left taken down. A lot of debris here, too, that's all over the place. There's well, wait a minute. Pull in here, if you could. The Motel 6 right here is a lot of the roof is missing, Mark. A lot of the shingles are missing. I don't know if you can see that. Hold on just a minute.
Yep, look at all that. I'm pointing to it. I mean, that's a great shot of it right there.
Can you see that? A lot of the shingles are missing.
This is on Skyland?
On the ground. No, this is actually just off of McFarland, actually, on 82.
Okay.
Just off of Longview Road, actually.
Absolutely.
So pull on around there a little bit, and there's a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a car that's damaged right there, and pull in here. Let me show you this. The sign is gone.
Oh, look at that right there.
Hold on just a second.
Yep. Right there. That's just that's wiped out.
Yeah. And that's kind of indicative of what happened when it did come through.
David, hold on. We're getting reports that Greene County could have massive amounts of damage from a possible tornado. We've got people headed that way right now. Just hang in there with us. And I want to emphasize, you're going to see things like this happening where I'm jumping around. The picture may drop out from time to time. Hang in there with us. We're going to get you through this. Don't worry about that. I promise you, we're going to ride this out with you, and we're going to get you through this. But we're getting hit by lightning periodically, so that happens in television in the world of electronics. But we will stick with you. We're not going to stop, and if we do go away, we'll certainly come back on in just a few moments. David, I'm looking at that sign. Obviously, the electrical part is still working, but the rest of it has been ripped off, and shingles are missing, and well, that's the back end of the storm, the tail end, and that's moving now just east of Holt, where there's a possible tornado again. The National Weather Service indicating that there could be a tornado on the ground with this one again. So I tell you, that's an impressive looking storm. Kaylee?
Hey, Mark, we're getting some updates here at Highway 80, mile marker 3. A wedge tornado being spotted with extensive damage path. Highway 80 not passable at that spot.
Public report.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is on Highway 80 in what county?
Mile marker 3. I am not exactly sure.
I'm betting. All right, let's go to the radar real quick. Highway 80 is actually down to the south, and I'm wondering if we're.
Back down.
Yeah. All right. These are actually these particular thunderstorms right here. These are the ones that we're most concerned about. Here's the first one. Here's the second one, and the third one just to the north and east of Utah. And that's a public report. I would rather wait until we get some confirmation from the National Weather Service on that, and they can pinpoint it a little bit better because 80 is well to the south of us. But if that's the case, it's very possible 80 runs from. All right, what you got, Ted?
Well, we're getting from Emergency Management North Greensboro reported a with roofs off of houses. So that's a confirmed report.
This is marked just inside the Alabama border, and it is from a storm chaser.
Okay, and this is actually, then that would be well down towards the south, over towards Meridian. Actually, Highway 80 runs through Dallas County, over towards Greensboro, Uniontown, or actually south of Greensboro. And near Cuba. So, yeah, that's well to the south. That is for this particular thunderstorm. There could possibly, this is not confirmed, but it's possible that we do have a large tornado on the ground just to the east of Cuba in Sumter County. That's south of Livingston. That will stay to the south of Livingston and actually more towards the south and east. But communities like York, you're being affected by that right now. Now, back up to our other storms. You got something new?
Well, it's reported by a local fire department.
They're tracking.
So they just put a tornado warning out on that system.
On that one near York? Okay, yeah, in Sumter County, okay. That is a large tornado confirmed on the ground, so that's a tornado emergency for York. The other warnings, let's go to David. We got David, all right, David, you got emergency personnel. What do we have?
Yeah, this is the Motel 6 where part of the roof came off, Mark, and there are several ambulances here. So someone may be hurt. I haven't really been in there, but I don't know if you can see that part of the roof that's on the ground right there. And so this is Tuscaloosa Fire and Rescue that's in here. Basically, sir, was anybody hurt that you know of? Can you tell me, is anybody hurt that you know of? Anybody hurt? Yeah, I know there's a lot of ambulances. Everybody's outside here because pretty much shaken up when the roof came off of this motel actually. And again, Mark, you can see there's a lot of debris on the ground, a lot of 2x4s, that kind of thing. And at least 3 ambulances here, so something is certainly going on.
Yeah, that's a little more than precautionary, I would say. Well, let us know what you find out. I mean, I know we're all by the seat of our pants tonight, so we're gonna wait to get that information from you as soon as you can get it to us. And that right there, that's not encouraging to see damage to a hotel and then have the obviously the EMTs there as well as medical and rescue. Back out. Let's move this over there. There you go. Perfect. Thank you. Here is a hook echo that is now just to the east of. Here it comes. And David, I'm looking at this new storm just south of West Blockton, and I've got to be honest, we got a debris ball showing up on radar.
Really?
Yes.
Can you hear me, Mark?
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
Listen, man, do you see what else is happening here? There's a lot of flash flooding that's just now really starting to take place.
Absolutely.
I'm going to walk you over here to it so you can sort of see what's happening. But there's a lot of these trees came from the other side of the road.
Wow.
Do you see those pine trees?
Yeah, up here.
Yeah, they came from the other side of the road, which was up there toward, I see where they're broken off up there, and that was just on the other side of the Motel 6 on McFarland.
That's a ton of water.
And then this all rushes in here, Mark, and then look where it's going. I mean, this is, it just started raining heavily again, and look where it's headed.
Oh,
so I'm going right down in here, right along McFarland.
Yeah.
So there's about to be some serious flash flooding that's ongoing. Traffic is still fairly heavy because, a lot of these roads now the police are beginning to block off, and so it's beginning to back up a little bit. But a lot of people are out now trying to figure out what they've got to clean up, and that's those trees. Actually, they were snapped. Some of them were snapped right there. And then on up towards McDonald's up there, so near the Country and Sweet. This is water that's really starting to pile up very fast.
And that's happening in a number of spots, especially our northern counties. And unfortunately, we've had such an incredible turnaround on this storm in Centerville. We're trying to keep pace with what's going on. But as David's mentioning, tremendous amounts of water falling with these storms, especially where we're getting train echoes, where thunderstorms continue to, like a train, follow each other over the same spot, dump an inch, 2 inches, sometimes 3 and 4. And our water tables just can't handle it. Our runoff systems can't handle it. Our drainage and all that. But David, we're seeing you live as you head towards the truck, and I think you and I nailed it earlier with a multiple vortice event, likely out of that wall cloud that passed over. And looks like we just lost this picture there. So, all right. Well, David, you still there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. I went mobile, got out of the car there to try to help you out with those pictures there. But, the other thing, Mark, and we often hear this from people who have been through a tornado, the smell of pine is in the air.
Mm-hmm.
As I look here, there's damage within a mile of just about everywhere that I see. So it's not that one point touched the ground and this place got touched, this place didn't. It's pretty much everywhere. Widespread sort of damage. It's not like there was a straight line wind either. And in fact, we noticed just a few minutes ago, we went south a little bit and noticed that a lot of the trees were broken off in the opposite direction of where the storm was coming in. So they were twisted, and there was a wind. The wind that was going into that storm was tremendous. I mean, you could just see stuff flying into it from all directions. Watch this vehicle here, Mark. You still with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Can you see this vehicle who's trying to go through here?
Yeah, and I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me when you
look, he's stuck.
Finally, good for you.
Yeah, stuck right there. I got 4-wheel drive, but I don't have time.
All right, David, we're going to come back to you in a minute. What you got, Kaylee?
We got an update from the National Weather Service. Now, Bibb, Jefferson, and Shelby under a tornado warning until 5:30.
For this storm right here, crossing 5, there is our tornado. This could be a massive tornado. We haven't had any confirmation on ground truth on this storm as of yet. You know, it's only 4:30, but it's like nighttime outside under some of these storms. And we've got a thunderstorm right now over the top of our facility. So we're periodically going to have a rumble of thunder with our audio. But I want to point out some locations. Here's Helena, County Road 52. There's I-65. Had to deal with, let's see, that was obviously, there's some of the video there. I'll step out. Fortunately, we haven't had to deal with a lot in the way of major populated areas being hit by tornadoes. But look at that. That is a large tornado. And with some damage now, just like what we saw out of this, it is look at that, multiple vortices. Just impressive tornadoes. You don't get to see that very often. That right there is just, that is an angry storm. And we've had some of that going on through West Alabama during the day today. And you can see how quickly they can wrap up as well. That's what happens with these multiple vortices. They quickly flare up, and then once they start to spin themselves out, a new one may develop. And then, of course, that's where you get damage that's scattered in different areas, like we saw back into Tuscaloosa and the storm that David Neal rode through. I'm going to step out of the way. We've also got Mike McClanahan live on the phone. Mike, what can you tell us?
I'm in Alabaster right now, Mark. There was hail intermittent on the way from Helena here, which is just about a mile and a half from the line. And I am looking at a lot of lightning right now. We saw some serious wind circulation earlier. The trees are just going in every direction. You're just kind of waiting for the sky to fall out right now. A lot of rain. It's you can hear the weather, the outdoor alert sirens, and it just feels like a tornado. You know, you can see the.
Yep, and I think we're losing you because of the weather. Honestly, and Mike, and we'll get back with you in just a minute, but we appreciate the update. I want to emphasize that right now, 119, all of you along 119, get in a safe place right now. I just saw this come across on the new radar. It looks like we're getting a ramp up. Zoom in right here for me. I want to get on 119 right now, and it looks like we have some rotation traveling right down Highway 119. Come on in a little bit closer. Here's Chelsea. It looks like we've got rotation showing up, and it's traveling just to the northeast at, going a little closer for me. I mean, it's just now passing Caldwell Mill Road. Places like, again, we're going to name through some of these: Eagle Point, Meadowbrook, Inverness. All of you need to go through a tornado safety plan now. This really just ramped up in the last minute or two. We have a tornado warning with this. Here is Caldwell Mill Road, Caldwell Mill, and here's Oak Mountain High School. There's Herdmont Park. The area of rotation is traveling right up 119. That is where our possible tornado is, or at least a area of rotation in this thunderstorm. Let's have you in that safe place right now. Don't wait on this. Greystone, stretching back over into Brook Highland. Go to your place of safety. Let's get this storm passed before we get you out. Give it a few minutes. Once the storm is passed, we can give you the clear. But right now, we've got so many of these warnings going on. We just have to get people in place ahead of time, because they have a history of damage. And we've already seen that throughout many spots in West Alabama. We're hoping that's not going to be the case with this. But here is Valleydale Road. Here is I-65. That rotation is traveling right in between the ridges there. And that is actually, again, Caldwell Mill right there. That Winn-Dixie right there at Caldwell Mill, as well as Valleydale. This stretches right across and heads up towards Acton. So this is right along 119. We'll get a new sweep here in just a moment. Now let's zoom back out if we can, Kaylee, and we'll get a better idea of what we got going on. We got a lot. This is just a mess right now across central Alabama. Absolute downpours from 459 all the way through Grants Mill Road. We're talking about Pine Tree back over towards our Pine Tree Country Club, back into Barber's Motor Sports Park. Here is another tornado now moving into western Shelby County. That is going to be on track to head to Alabaster. For those of you in Alabaster, let's go ahead and go through the tornado safety plan again. I know we just went through it, but we got to have you do it again. This next storm is passing through. It's showing signs of rotation. It's going to cross 65 here in just a minute. Kaylee, what you got?
You know, and we have a lot of water with this, Mark. Flash flood warning in effect for Jefferson County, and that's because a lot of water is falling, and it's very dangerous when we have flash flood warning. So make sure if you see water over roadways, it's rushing, do not go over them. And also right now we have our very own Sherry Jackson live in our newsroom with some updates on the Tuscaloosa County storm. Sherry, what do you got for us?
Yeah, Kaylee, as you guys said, it has moved through down there, but there are some reports, lots of damage. One thing in particular of concern, there's a gas leak in the area, 50, but there are some reports, lots of damage.
County storm. Sherry, we have our very own Sherry Jackson live in our newsroom with some updates on the Tuscaloosa County storm. Sherry, what do you got for us?
Yeah, Kaylee, as you guys said, it has moved through down there, but there are some reports, lots of damage. One thing in particular of concern, there's a gas leak in the area. Move through down there, but there are some reports, lots of damage. One thing in particular of concern, there's a gas leak in the area, 56th Street and 10th Avenue East. Trees have fallen there near Hargrove Road and Idlewood. You see some of the damaged signs down, and there are also reports of power lines down near 69 South. The city again reported a tornado touching down at Skyland Boulevard and McFarland, and there are a lot of people in Tuscaloosa right now for tomorrow's A-Day game. So we do know that at this hour they have reopened the classes at UA tonight, and a lot of people have been concerned about that Sugarland concert, and just within the last half hour there was a report that the Sugarland concert in Tuscaloosa has been canceled for tonight. But again, lots of calls coming in about the damage, and most of concern for me right now is the gas leak in the area, 56th Street and 10th Avenue East. Want people to stay out of that area.
All right. Thanks so much, Sherry. Appreciate you guys keeping us up to date on all that. There's just an absolute tsunami of information coming in. We're trying to get it all to you as quickly as possible. Kaylee, we got a new tornado warning, right?
Yeah, Mark, we have a new tornado warning for Bibb, Hale, Perry County. That's until 6:15. So this is located near Greensboro. I mean, they're just getting pounded.
They can't get a break
They
today.
can't get a break. We got one just near Marion and then now Greensboro, just to the south and west of Centerville. And now we're also getting a report in, not exactly sure who this report is from, but of a tornado on the ground at the promenade in Alabaster.
Okay,
So
that's
that
for
is
that
a totally different storm. That's the storm we were just looking at. Let's move back up to that one here.
All right,
and let's zoom
who
in.
did that come from? Was that National Weather Service
National
info?
Weather Service.
Okay, so all right, we're talking right here that there's a possible tornado on the ground in Alabaster. That's, I mean, we're, thank you very much. Good shot there. Here's Alabaster, and we're talking right here. And here's Pelham. You're north of this, but we're getting a report of a tornado on the ground in Alabaster. Oh, let's go to Skype. David Neal. Yeah, David Neal's got a shot.
That's where he's headed.
And that right there is looking like the storm that he is headed to, excuse me, I believe from I-65. We'll get David on the phone here in just a moment. He can give us an update, but look at that blow off the top. This is a pretty impressive looking shot there. Traffic headed right towards it, and you know, again, you have to look at the lowering right there. That's a pretty healthy base, so it's very possible we have a tornado on the ground in Alabaster with this particular, and I would say that trying to get an idea if he's all right, David, go ahead. I was stalling till we could get you on for just a second. You're headed right into this towards Alabaster, is that right?
Absolutely. That's where I'm coming in from. Actually, I'm coming in from Tuscaloosa, Mark, and I'm still on 2059 here. This is the storm that is ahead of me. I'm just on the other side of Vance and was in there for a little bit. Saw a lowering off to my west. It was on the other side of the interstate, but I don't know if that was actually rotating or not. But as I head inward, we pick up with on and off heavy rainfall that lasts for about 10 minutes or so and then ends again. But I'm at the West Brockton Centerville exit here where I-5 and 11 come in to 2059, and traffic is really picking up pretty rapidly here. There's a lot of heavy rain in the area, and if you look at the image that I got, it's dark and somewhat black just ahead of me in Jefferson County. So I'm going to move here and then take a right and eventually move east here a little bit.
All right, thanks so much, David. I can tell you the picture right there, and you know, it's amazing how much brighter it is compared to what it was earlier, because it was just so darn dark with all the clouds that were building in.
Yeah, and you know, Mark, this is It's ominous no matter where you look, in what direction you look, and this is certainly a day that's not over with yet, and it's been prolonged here somewhat, maybe even set back a couple of hours than what we really thought was going to explode earlier, but nonetheless, what an active day, and that trend that we talk about so often where they trend not to touch the ground or they trend to go just the other way has really, really taken effect for the day today.
Well, and that's one thing that we're still learning. Honestly, as meteorologists, we are still learning and trying to find out why do we have some that reach the ground and then other times just a lot of wall clouds. So that's for another day, but obviously pretty ominous looking deck of clouds up ahead of you, and we'll check back with you here in just a few minutes when you get a little better angle.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks so much. That's David Neal. He is out amongst all these storms today. It has been an absolutely incredible day with radar signatures we just don't get to see very often of possible tornadoes. We still have tornado warnings right now. Ted, let's go through those. Give us an idea of whose warnings are what.
Well, we have a new tornado warning issued for Lamar County until 6 o'clock, so that's in a totally different area. This is all Doppler radar indicated, and the danger storm was located 8 miles south of Caledonia, or 8 miles northeast of Columbus, and moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. That's what most of these storms are doing. In fact, all of them are moving northeast. So that storm is off to the north, our northern counties. You need to be alert as well. I know we're focused a lot on the Birmingham metro area, but this is one we can't stress enough, and we're getting some very large reports of baseball-size hail. That's just a little bit south of our viewing area. But this is the type of storms that are coming through the area. I wanted to let people know in Tuscaloosa, if you're driving, I know a lot of the storms have passed through your area. You look clear on the radar, but there is still flash flooding going on throughout the area. We're seeing Alabaster. Again, we had reports of a tornado on the ground. We're not sure if this is coming through with trained storm spotters or it's coming through with amateur radio. That's where that's coming through, where they're seeing a tornado on the ground near the Alabaster Promenade.
You know, Ted, I want to make sure I talk about this real quick. Getting a lot of people on my Facebook and Twitter asking me from Talladega, what's going on? What do we need to know? Well, you need to know that there is a storm about 45 minutes away from you that has been reported near Alabaster with a tornado on the ground. So if you're in Talladega, you got plenty of time to get to a safe place. There's a lot of people out there, so make sure that you take these warnings very seriously. They're not to you yet, and you're not mentioned, but you will be in the line of these storms. Again, this tornado near Alabaster that has been reported on the ground moving to the east. This storm will move over Talladega within the next 45 minutes, and there's no storm shelters out there for people, with a lot of campers. So a lot of my Facebook friends as well as Twitter followers have been asking, and so there's your information there. Otherwise, we have all of these circles on Titan 3D radar. Lamar County has a tornado warning on it. We're seeing rotation with that storm that just popped a few minutes ago. Then we also have the storm near Alabaster and in Shelby County. Then if you go back down Greensboro, been getting pounded today, just left and right. Also Centerville, seeing some rotation with that storm. So there's several areas in central Alabama right now that have tornado warnings with them. Now, you don't need to freak out about these. We're going to be with you just like we have been all afternoon, but there has been reported damage. We have reporters all over central Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Kim Rankin. We have Lee Gardner that's headed to Sumter County to get some of that damage there, and also some reporters at Talladega that we'll be getting to here very shortly. But Ted, I don't know if you have any updates on any of these storms that are moving through.
I just want to update people that when you do seek shelter, there's new means of technology. We have a CBS 42 app. Also, we're live streaming on the web. So if you have a laptop and you want to go into an interior room, bring it in with you. If you have wireless internet, you can watch us there too, so you don't have to be locked in a room with windows. So you can seek shelter that way, proper shelter. Now we're going to go live to Talladega, where we have an update with Shannesty Myers.
I believe it's Abby.
Abby? Okay.
Yep. Hey guys, we are just outside of Talladega right now. As you can see, the rain is falling pretty steadily. The part that's the most troubling is Kaylee mentioned that these storms are headed this way, but there are tens of thousands of people in these RVs that you see behind me, and there is no shelter here. Talladega has told everyone, they told them yesterday, that they cannot provide shelter. So they are asking all of the fans to watch the weather, pay attention, and do what they can to get themselves to safety. Now, there is nothing nothing on the Talladega complex that is considered a tornado shelter. So the only way to find safety is to leave this area and move. We just saw a huge shot of lightning. The rain has been coming down for about 2 hours, and it's been windy all day, but it's not too bad right now.
Okay, Abby, yeah, go ahead and get into cover. Thanks so much, Abby, for that live shot. I'd rather you not be out there with that lightning right now. But again, thanks so much for the update. And it is important for these people who are right now at Talladega to understand they've got to seek their own shelter. I know that a number of them may be from out of state, and that sounds very coarse and almost harsh, but that's just how it's going to have to be today, because that's what's happening.
We have to reiterate. Mobile homes and trailers are not proper shelters. They need to get out of them. A good way to get out of there, I know there's a lot of traffic if you have to leave Talladega, is the carpool. Get into a car and get out of there. Leave the mobile home behind. Get out of there.
And let's talk about that tornado warning. You can see right now that hook echo is moving through. Gosh, it looks like it's just going to be, again, right down County Highway 11, headed towards Chelsea. That's another area of rotation. Tell us, what do you